Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to a streaming screen test. That is right. We're literally just here to test some stuff out. Looks like Mr. Randy is texting me. He needs to come join the stream is what we need to do. So I'm going to have my computer send him a quick text back because, why not test these things out? Hello, 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 Mr. Nate. Thanks for being first. Nathan is followed up with a close second. And then Riley is a third. Hello, hello, hello. I know this is not scheduled. This is not even something I normally do. But hey, here we are, hanging out. I have a new setup that I'm testing out today that will be what hopefully will be able to be used down in Starbase. We'll see how well that works, though. So we went on location next to a busy road and testing out the streaming ability of the computer and the camera, all on battery power. So hopefully nothing dies, and we're going to see how long this lasts and see how long I last sitting in the hot sun. Let's see. Mr. Randy says looks so cool. Well, thanks. Appreciate that, Randy. First I was doing this without the sunglasses, but then I'm just like squinting the whole time. So what do you guys think? Sunglasses? No sunglasses? I don't know. I know the no sunglasses is a little bit more personal, so you can actually see my eyeballs. But most of the time I'm just squinting anyway into like this dark shaded car that I really wish I was sitting in. Hello, Simon, and thank you for joining. Mr. Nathan says, turn up the gain on your mic. Well, I'm not going to turn up the gain, but I can definitely get closer. We're just trying to minimize background noise. Appreciate the feedback there. We'll keep the microphone a little bit closer. I thought this sounded okay in the audio tests, but perhaps not. Is this better? I don't want it to end up sounding like ASMR, but at the same time, we're trying to drown out all the background noise and keep my voice fairly prominent. Looks like lots of people are joining in. Maybe I need to move my live streams to Friday night. No, that would interfere with Mr. Viper. Actually, I don't know if he's still doing his Friday night vipes, but if he is, we will let him keep Friday nights. Let's see here. Let's see here. I don't have well, I guess I do have a third device. I could grab my iPad to read the chat, but I don't really want to bog down the network with an extra device if I can avoid it. So we're just going to try to squint at the chat, which is like way far away on my teeny little computer. Randy says, looks cool. Simon has declared hello. Simon has also declared 2 Ansuini lives 2 days in a row. And this is, well, we're in for a treat. It's not going to be a treat. There's nothing planned or specifically exciting, but I wanted to do a live stream test, testing out the hotspot abilities in the hot summer heat, my heat resistant abilities in the hot summer heat, as well as the M1 computers. I'm fairly thankful. As much as I say that I wish I kind of got the 13-inch MacBook Air with the M1 chip, I'm kind of glad that I got the MacBook Pro because it does have a fan, and it makes me feel a little bit better having it sit in a 90-degree car. That at least it has a fan to cool itself down with a little bit. Doesn't seem to be having any performance problems. But hopefully this all looks good. I know we're only streaming in 720 right now, 720 at 30. Randy says it sounds okay, so I guess that's good to know. I don't have full bars of LTE. I only actually have 2 bars of LTE, which for combined is about a 10 megabit a second up and down, which isn't great, but it seems to be enough to do this 720 live stream, which is awesome. Let's get through the chat here. Randy says, taking a break. Simon, a wife came home, so I'm taking a visual break. Well, thanks for joining us, Randy. Appreciate it. Why Mike says your Starship mic gives me a good idea. Well, you should definitely, and I saw your text there, Mike. Actually, this was Drew's old lavalier mic. Let me actually read your text so I know what you're talking about here. Give me a link to the Starship model. I will. I will send. This is from Etsy, but I thought you were talking about the microphone. Let's see. Glasses look cool too. Okay. Randy's liking the glasses, and actually I prefer the glasses. It's kind of hard to read the chat with the glasses on, so that's good to know, though. If I'm doing a stream and not interacting with the chat, I can get away with wearing the sunglasses and protecting my eyeballs a little bit. I've noticed that it's really all about how it's oriented, because there's this like SUV overhang thing, and if I park this a little bit differently, I might get a little bit of shade. Obviously, we're pretty late in the afternoon at this point, so there won't be too much shade to go around here. Let's see. Scott has joined the chat. Hello, Scott. Hi. How are you? By the way, guys, can you guys hear like the background stuff as like cars go by? And I'm sure there's birds chirping. Not at the moment. There are birds chirping though, and also the wind blowing and stuff. From the few tests that I've just performed, it sounded pretty good. And again, it looks like we're getting more people today than we normally do on an Ansuini live stream, which is kind of funny. So hello, welcome. This is the channel where we normally do a weekly Thursday night live stream. Do you guys prefer a different day? Maybe, I don't know. I just kind of assumed that Thursday night there wasn't a ton going in my sub box, so perhaps maybe you guys would prefer a different day. Let's see. Scott has joined. Thank you so much, Scott, for joining. Hopefully you're doing well. Simon has declared, looks so good. Well, that's good. No problem, Randy. Everyone deserves a break. Everyone does deserve a break, especially Randy, unless he's working on music for the Talos of Tech podcast, in which case he needs to go work a little bit harder because we can't have Randy taking breaks. Randy says, you sound fine. I love the scenery. Audio is good, declares Simon. Well, since Simon has declared it, it is good audio. That's very good to hear. I'm wearing these right now, which are super uncomfortable because they're black headphones in the summer heat, and my ears are baking at the moment. So I might dig out an old pair of 3.5 jack headphones and do the good old just one ear in headphone trick so that I can get a little bit of monitoring, because I've found that I often forget that I need to hold the mic close if I'm not getting that feedback in my ear holes. Mike says zoom enhance. Well, this is a zoom lens. I'm not using the typical lens that we typically use. I'm using that Kit 18 to 135 zoom lens here. So we could zoom in if you want. We're only about 70 millimeters right now, so we could definitely go in closer if you want. Let's see here. Nathan says just a little low volume. I have my volume almost to max. Okay, well, I can probably turn that up in OBS if we're going to get picky here. I definitely see that. Since this is so, I just bumped it by like 2 decibels there, so hopefully that's a little bit better. Since it's so close to my mouth and neither my camera or OBS have limiters on them, I'm kind of worried that if I scream, we'll clip just like we just did there, so sorry about that. So that's why I was keeping it a little bit lower, but I just bumped it up 2 decibels. Let me know how that sounds, Mr. Nathan. Nate says, so when do we get a stream from the coffee shop? I probably could now that we have a full back of car setup. However, I feel completely like self-conscious talking into a starship sitting in a camp chair in the back of my car. It's kind of weird with people walking by and whatnot. Thankfully, there aren't too many people around right now because it's like Thursday night or Friday night, and I'm not sure why anyone is not in the park. Actually, it's a beautiful day. But I feel a little self-conscious about that, so I'm not probably gonna do it in the parking lot of the coffee shop because it's kind of busy. But maybe one day, and we'll do like an 8K stream or something like that just to prove out the internet speed. Mr. Jonathan Anderson, yo Nick, how's it going? Well, thank you so much for asking. Everyone always asks me, where am I? Why am I here? No one asks me how I am. Thank you so much, Mr. Jonathan. I am doing really well. Thank you for asking. I am testing out, if you didn't catch, a new outdoor streaming setup which will be used in Starbase, Texas, hopefully next week if all goes well. We just finished recording the Talos of Tech and Talos of EV podcast, which was in the studio with the professional lighting and all that fun stuff. So that'll be the last podcast, likely, if everything goes well, that you guys will see. I guess we did record a movie review podcast too. But other than that, you guys are going to be used to the great outdoors as a background, which I kind of like, honestly. It's kind of fun. A lot of times when I'm creating content, I feel like I'm just kind of in this cave, and it's like I'm just in this hole making things. But I'm outside in the world right now, literally in a park. It's perfect. It's amazing. Let's see. Christian. Sorry, it's really far away. Christiana. Christina. I'm probably butchering that. It's a really simple word. I'm sorry. It's kind of far away. watching you from my brand new 2021 mini LED iPad. It's awesome. Wow. Well, too bad I don't have any dark spaces here where you can just see how nice and dark, but I bet you this overexposed whiteness is looking super duper bright. Sorry, I realized the microphone got far away. See what I mean? I need to have the audio going back in my ears. Randy says 720 is fine. That's good to know. Nathan says just got premium, still no pip. Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. Sounds like Drew didn't have pip either. I have pip, but I turned it off because I kind of hate it. Actually, I don't even think we talked about that on podcast, Randy. I kind of feel bad about that. Jonathan says, what's in the 1950s rocket? What in the 1950s rocket is that? That's a good question. This is a Starship model that I got online, and it is now a microphone because what doesn't say professional newscaster like a microphone? This is Nick Ansuini reporting for ABC 7 here in Starbase, Texas. What is surprising is that there are many Teslas catching fire. Stay tuned at the 7 o'clock news for me to tell you exactly why you shouldn't drive a Tesla. Simon has declared 720 is enough for the size I'm watching. Well, that's good to know. When I do this actually, and I don't think I'm actually recording it. Oh, am I? No, I'm not. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Oh. Oop. Whoa. I was trying to be tricky. I don't have a memory card in it right now. I'll have to stick a memory card in it. I was just doing a test here, so I didn't have the memory card in it. I don't even know where the memory card is. It's in my pocket. There it is. Anyway, I can't fix that at the moment because we're live and we're having some fun. I will be recording all of this in 4K when I'm actually down there doing live stuff, and then I'll be streaming in 720 and then uploading slightly edited content, still long form like ambisonics and stuff in 4K. So assuming the internet connection works out, if not, we'll skip down to 1080. Let's see here. Man, you guys are just chatting up a storm. I cannot believe how many people are here today. This is literally just a test, guys. It's not exciting at all. I'm sitting outside in a park talking to myself. Oh my gosh, you guys chatted up a storm here. Okay. Nathan says he can only hear an occasional car. That's good. Randy, I can hear the background. Yes, that's good. No, Nick, I can only hear your beautiful voice. Well, thank you, Scott. I also can only hear your beautiful voice in my ears. It's beautiful. Nate says the noise of the cars is pretty faint. Well, that's good to hear. I think there's another one coming up here. It's definitely not there. I mean, it's definitely there, but it's not too bad in my opinion. Hopefully you guys agree with it. It sounds like you are. Oh, Juan! Thank you for joining. Didn't hear any noise. I'm on my phone, though. Juan, good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. Hopefully everything's going well with you. Glad you could make it. Let's see. Jonathan says the cars going by are pretty audible, but not bad, honestly. Good. Nathan says, I love Thursdays for streams. That's good to know. Simon has declared Fridays are good, but so are Thursdays. Also good to know. Randy has to go, guys. Nick says, I need to go to work on the new Taylors of Music. Bye, Randy. Bye. Have fun with the music. Simon has declared, I declare Randy stays, and Simon has also declared, unless Randy goes to be an animal, in that case he may go. Wow, my goodness. Why my zoom and enhance was directed towards increasing the chat size. See, I'm not that tricky. I don't really know. I know I can pop out the chat here, but I can't, even if I am, it's just really fine print. And even if you like zoom in on Safari, it's really fine print. It's just however they scale it weird. Randy says, oh, I gotta stay. Simon declared it. All right, yeah, Randy, sorry, you gotta stay. Simon does declare things here. Scott says, never do that again. Uh-oh, what did I do? Did I whisper? Sorry. Lots of people I found don't like the ASMR version. I don't specifically get ASMR as like a subgenre, but I don't hate it. And so whenever I'm like, ooh, so ASMR, people are like, stop ASMR. I'm like, I don't get why it's annoying, but I guess it could be. Your audio is a bit low, but not too bad. Drew does the same. I always have to turn my volume up, LOL. Well, here we're trying to balance a bunch of factors that I can't control. Obviously, keeping the microphone as close as possible only does so much. So we have to make some decisions here. Nothing weird about it. Own it. Simon has declared I have my guitar set to negative 21 decibels, so I can hear it over the is not a problem though. I I don't know what you tried to say there. Sorry, bud. Jonathan says, LOL, right. Only weird if you make it weird. It doesn't make it weird. Why is Nick? This is a good question. Why is Nick? All right, man. This is like the first time in a long time I haven't been able to keep up with the chat. I'm literally just reading things. Thanks, guys, for all being so active. I don't know why you're here because this is literally just a test. Maybe I should have labeled this slightly differently. Nathan says it literally is 115 degrees where I am, so this summer heat is literally unbearable for more than 5 minutes. I'm leaving for beautiful California tomorrow, though. Yeah, I know you're leaving for beautiful California. You better have some fun out there. Simon has declared no question for today's stream. This is technically a test. This is just a test. I'm not actually doing an Ansuini live stream. I know possibly I should have renamed some stuff, I guess, now looking back on it. But this is just a test. If you guys want to come up with a question, we can do a question of the week. That's fine. Typically, the question of the week, though, is used when no one is interacting with the chat. But people seem to be interacting with the chat today. All right, let's see. Jonathan says Nick is using Starlink. I am not using Starlink, unfortunately. I am using a hotspot at the moment. As soon as Starlink is available, though, I will be getting right on that because I need some Starlink. I know Simon says get some vitamin D. Simon has declared that I need to get some vitamin D. I am getting it right now. I'm worried that I might get burned. I'm wearing a little bit of sunscreen though, so hopefully that helps. Ryan, hello. Hello, Ryan. He says, hello, I'm late. Love the mic. Hi, late. That's funny. Whoa, I laughed. That's very dangerous. I laughed. I can spell. I have premium too, so I don't have PIP yet. I had it for about a month ago. Yeah, it seems like YouTube's kind of just like rolling it out kind of randomly, so I don't really know exactly what the deal is there, the dealio. Mr. Nathan says, hi, Ryan. Randy says, everyone's here today because of the beautiful scenery. Oh, well, maybe I should go on more adventures. Oh, I don't know, maybe down to a little place where they make these beautiful starships. That sounds like fun. So you guys know, when I'm down in Starbase, the intention, we'll see how it plays out, but the intention is to keep up with all of my regular content. So you shouldn't be missing any content. If anything, you're just going to be getting a lot more content, which my schedule was already full. So we'll see how this goes. But instead of just living for Starship, I'm going to be living and breathing and eating and drinking and seeing Starship, basically. So, sorry, I got the microphone far away. Are you sure I'm not clipping, guys? It kind of sounds like I might be clipping a little bit. Just kind of like, wait, I don't know, just when I'm, I don't know. It just sounds like I might be clipping. I don't know. And I don't want to be clipping, ever. Let's see. Ryan says, hey, Nathan. Simon has declared 95% for the scene, 4% for the chat, and 1% for Nick. That is about the right assessment there, Simon. No one is ever here for me because I'm not even here for me. I don't think that there's any reason why I should be here. Why Mike says car sound is honestly nice, natural noise that makes the stream feel more alive. Okay, well, agreed. And Nate even agrees. My goodness. Well, thank you guys. I was a little self-conscious about this, but it's something unavoidable when you're recording literally outside. Nothing above my head at the moment. I'm a little bit too far back for the hatch of the car. All right, let's see. Randy says, my goodness, to me being an animal, Simon. Yes, that is so true. Randy, you better not be an animal. Or else you'll be like one of the Muppet guys. Animal! Nate says, agreed. Oh, I'm sorry, I read those. Simon has declared Nick literally something... Oh, Nick is literally commenting ASMR as a genre of something. Yes. It is a genre. I mean, I know one of my really good friends in real life loves ASMR, and he, like, literally just listens to ASMR videos for fun. I don't really get it as a genre to, like, listen to. It's not my thing, but I don't hate it, and it's kind of fun to make. I really like making good ASMR, but for some reason people hate it, and I don't understand that. Simon says, right after the animal comment, yes. I'm visually impaired and actually using the Zoom feature on the Mac. It's really good. You can try it. It won't mess up the formatting of any website or app. Huh. How do you use that? How do you turn that on? That sounds pretty interesting. I've never used that before. I guess I can probably Google that here when we're done streaming. That's a good point. I could also, this is all just running off of like a cable and a half here, so I could also just move this closer. Jonathan says, I don't know what's up with Pip and YouTube app. Only works for me in Safari. Weird. That is weird. For some reason, I did get it on mobile, but I don't really use mobile, I don't really like using the Pip on mobile, even for like general websites. Like Safari, the default Safari web player's been able to do Pip for 2 years on iOS, and I never really used that feature. So I don't really know why people were so excited about it, but hey, whatever you want, whatever you want. It looks like I finally got caught up, guys. Thank you. That took a while. Oh, now here comes some more. Geesh. See, Good at Life. Welcome. Good at Life. Hey, welcome. He says, hello. I didn't expect to find this in my inbox today. I'm pleasantly surprised. Well, yes, that is the point of these impromptu live streams. I'm literally just testing out some new camera setup and live streaming setup here for when I make the eventual trip down to Starbase, Texas. I wanted to do a whole dry run here. It is about 95 degrees or so, 95 degrees, something like that. I don't know. I guess I could see here. Hold on, let me open the weather app. $97 degrees. Okay, it's 97 degrees. And so I figured it's probably pretty similar to your average day down in Texas. I know that it gets up to like 110 or something, but I figured I'd give this like a good, see how well all the equipment works when it's hot, how well I work when it's hot and I'm in the sun. Doesn't seem unbearable as long as there's a breeze. I'm sure if there wasn't a breeze, it would be a lot less bearable. But from what I can tell down there, it's all pretty flat, and there's some pretty good ocean breeze that kicks up most of the time. All right. Nate says, Nick trying to read chats could be a show in and of itself. Yes, literally. Ooh, that was a loud motorcycle. Still is. It's a loud motorcycle and then a dump truck. My goodness, lots of noises. Michael Davis, welcome. Good to see you, buddy. We were just chatting about the morning of our favorite bank. Can we get a shout out to the? Is that Jay? Oh. TSIS2 team. Oh, is that the Mars Hope mission? I don't know what that team is, but shout out to them. The TISIS2 team. Shout out to them. I feel like that's like a satellite that you're either working on or did work on. I don't know. Please let me know, Mike. I'm very curious now. Good at Life. Is there a question of the day today? No, there is no question of the day today at all because this is a test stream. Perhaps I should have labeled it as such. But if you guys want to come up with a question of the week, feel free to come up with a question of the week. I'm taking applications. I don't have anything specific. And typically what the question of the week is designed to do is to keep the chat moving if people start getting quiet. But so far, I've barely been able to keep up with the comments. So I don't know if we need one specifically. But if you want to come up with one, feel free to. Why Mike says Pip on my iPhone. That's true. Whoa, that dongle life. Wow. Oh my gosh, I have one dongle. Wow. This whole live stream is being run off of one dongle, guys. Look out. Too bad Apple didn't give me every port imaginable. No, guys, I literally love this dongle. It's just the standard Apple power pass through USB 3.0 and HDMI dongle. And that's running everything. So I have my Cam Link knockoff plugged into that, and my camera plugged into that. Audio is being all routed through my camera. So all of that's being run off that, and I don't even have the charger plugged in at the moment on the other end. And then with my other port, I just plugged in my iPhone to do the hotspot over USB, which seems to be a little bit more reliable than just doing it over Wi-Fi. But if I was in a pinch and needed that extra port, I could totally do it over Wi-Fi as well. Okay. Let's see. Simon has declared you caught up with the chat. Don't even dare to say that. All right, well, I won't because now I'm not. I'm now behind. Why Mike says, Jonathan, you should see the back of my iMac. Yes, I have seen pictures of the back of Why Mike's iMac. Rumor has it that he has a 3.5 jack pair of headphones plugged into the side of his 24-inch iMac, which, in my ever so humble opinion, is extremely hideous and disrespectful to Johnny Ive personally. However, I think we're going to give Why Mike a pass just because he is such a nice guy. Good at Life says those glasses make you look like you belong on a Top Gun movie. Well, actually, I have some more Top Gun-ish looking glasses, but this one matches my shirt a little bit better. They're the blue pair, matches the blue-green aesthetic. I could also throw on my brown pair if you want. Is that not annoying? I don't know. Like, that's like a sports car that just drove by. I don't know my sports car very well, but that looked like a mildly expensive sports car that didn't have a muffler. Jonathan says, LOL, still impressive that USB-C can handle all that through one port. Crazy stuff. I know. That's why I love USB-C. I'm really only using one port right now. Well, I could go down to one port. I mean, I'm literally just using... all the stream input is going into one USB 3.0 port on this computer, so it's not like you need a lot to run a live stream if you have the proper equipment set up. All right, it's in System Preferences, Accessibility, and then Zoom. You can enable the gesture and and all you have to do is command and slide up and down with 2 fingers. That's good to know. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. Let's see. Apple ID. Nope. I need to go to Accessibility, and then Zoom, and then Control. Interesting. So hold down the Control. Huh. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's kind of trippy. That definitely does work. Huh. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. That's cool. I've never used that before. I like it. Nathan says, all right, gotta go. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining, Nathan. I understand you gotta go. No worries. And have a very happy birthday. Probably won't be chatting with you before soon. And also have a fun trip. So thanks for joining, bud. Let's see. TISIS-2 is the new spacecraft I'm working on. I didn't know that, Mike. You just went to Mars. Your last craft just went to Mars. How are you going to top that, Mr. TISIS-2? What is that? Is that, no, those are the, I was thinking, what's the, satellite constellation that provides, telemetry for the ISS? I think that's also a satellite constellation that starts with a T. Is that the TISIT? I don't know. Tell me more about this, Mike. I'm not going to pretend like I don't know, because you're literally working on this project. Mike says JPL wants to know your location. JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, my location is undisclosed in a park that's not in Starbase, Texas, unfortunately, with busy traffic on a road that I'm testing. Alpha says, I'm tuning in this time. Thanks for joining, Alpha. Glad to have you. FYI, I have nothing to play back audio right now, so I can't hear you. Uh-oh, sorry about that. Well, this will be a very boring stream then for you if you can't hear anything. Good Life says, do you watch sports? Oh, that's a good question, Good Life. I personally do not watch sports unless you call Apple Sheep Reacts video sports, which could be a sport depending on how you define it. Currently, no, I don't watch any sports. Never really have been a big sports guy. Nothing against it specifically. I just prefer wasting my time on the internet in other ways. Anyway, Y Mike says, LOL, so they add a headphone jack, and apparently me using it makes it a sin against an ex-Apple employee, an ex-employee of Apple. Yes, a deceased ex-employee of Apple. That is literally the case. They should not have had that, and you shouldn't have even used it. Jonathan says that's really cool. Yeah, Jonathan, Michael is like a really, really cool guy. Not only is he like really cool personally, but like also he's like really cool professionally. His last satellite spacecraft, solar probe, I guess, huh? It wasn't even a spacecraft. It was a probe that went to interplanetary probe is probably the best definition for it. He was working on the UAE's first interplanetary mission. It was the Mars Hope project, which successfully entered orbit, I believe, in, was that March, Mike? I know it launched about a year ago, huh? It launched about a year ago, last July, but it arrived in the Martian atmosphere, in an orbit around Mars sometime, I think it was like March, huh? I think it was March. I'm fairly certain it was March. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Like, he's like a legit guy. Like, he's worked on like weather satellites. Like, if you've ever seen like the weather data on the Weather Channel, like he worked on the satellite. Like, he like touched the satellite and like worked on the satellite that made that data. Anyway, he's like really cool. Good friend of mine. Let's see. Simon is declared. I'm listening, but I can't comment regularly. So sorry, Nick. No worries, Mr. Simon. We shall live without the declaring. Nathan says, have you heard back about the Tomorrow War at all? It's an absolutely ridiculous film, but it's still entertaining. I have not heard about the Tomorrow War, besides that it has one of my favorite actors of all time, Andy Dwyer from Parks and Recreation, Chris Pratt, also Emmett from the Lego Movie. Tomorrow War looks interesting. I haven't done any research to see where it's streaming. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere because this is 2021 and we're probably streaming it. But I don't have enough of a excitement about it to like want to go look at it. But if it ever pops up as somewhere that's free to watch, I'll probably end up watching it. But I don't know. I've also seen reviews of it, like spoilerish reviews, and it's like, okay, well, basic plot line. I don't know. Nothing good or bad against it, I guess, really. But yeah, what do you think about it? I haven't seen much. Why Mike says I've heard bad reviews for that movie. It very might be very bad reviews. I have no idea. All right, Michael's going to correct everything here. Yes, it's TDRS. That is the word I was looking for. So what Mr. Michael says, you were thinking of TDRS, which handles all data relay for NASA's spacecraft. That is the word I was thinking of. Thank you, TDRS. So you guess you're not working on TDRS. What? Tell me more about what are you working on, if you can. I mean, if you're gonna have to shoot me after, then please don't. Ryan, welcome, Ryan. Just tuning in. How's it going? It's going well. Right now we're just doing a little bit of a live stream test, seeing how well this new setup that has worked on paper is actually going to work in person. This will be the setup that I'm going to use when I'm down in a current place that makes specific things. When I'm down in Starbase, Texas, this is the live stream setup I'm planning on using. We're currently in a park right now next to a busy road, hopefully simulating some of the audio and lighting effects that we'll have down there. It's also like 97 degrees right now, so hopefully that's also going to tell us how well all of this equipment performs in the hotness. And this is all being run off of a hotspot that only has 2 bars of LTE, so that's why this is at 720. All right, before I read more comments, I got to give a shout out to Yeti. I got this this mug, which I'm sure you guys see me normally drinking out of on the tech podcast and stuff. But I got this Yeti mug from my old company, Profit Coach, when I was working there. And I didn't really think too much of it, but it's like a dual-walled thermos thing. I had put ice water in this, like, I don't know, this morning, I guess, huh? It was right before we finished or started the shows this morning, and I still had a little bit of ice at the bottom, and I poured in another, I don't know, filled it up with regular water, and it's still cold, and it's very nice because it's very hot out here, and it's nice to have hot water or cold water in the hot day. All right, back to the chat. All right, Ryan says, setup looks pretty nice. Are you running it all off of a hotspot? Yes, I'm running everything off of a hotspot at the moment. We're really running this off of one dongle. So microphone right here, the famous Starship microphone, is going straight into the camera's preamps, and then my headphones, which are giving me live audio monitoring, is going out of the camera because the camera has a monitor line. And so that's all hooked up to the camera, and then the camera is able to put the audio signal, this audio signal, into a nice HDMI cable along with the video, so it synchronizes the video and the audio together, and sends that in one clean HDMI cable to my $12 Camlink knockoff, which I highly recommend, and that is going into the $70 Apple charging USB HDMI to USB-C Thunderbolt 3 adapter, and that's going wonderfully. And then that is running into OBS, and OBS is doing the lovely live streaming and then sending it via a hotspot on my iPhone 12 mini, which when you listen to the podcast tomorrow, you will find out that my iPhone 12 mini's battery is shot, and so it is plugged into the Mac via a USB-C to Lightning cable. That is the current streaming setup. Also, I have a different lens on than I normally do, so, I mean, it's way far away all those trees are, so you don't see too many bokeh balls or anything. But I'm surprised there isn't anybody like out there playing like frisbee or something. But whatever. I don't want to go out there and play frisbee. That's for sure. All right. Let's see. Nate says, "Why, Mike? Yeah, the plot is insane and the action is really poorly thought out. Nick, if you want to watch it, it's free on Amazon Prime. Well, I don't have Amazon Prime, neither do I want to. Michael says, EEM was inserted into Mars orbit on February 9th. Oh, man, sorry, I was off by a month. Dang it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. That was a very fun morning. Was that really February 9th? Wow. February 9th is the birthday of one of my really good friends. And I feel like I would have remembered that a little bit better starting the day out because we had a FaceTime call that day, Michael and I. We talked a lot about it and kind of got to watch it all happen and watching like the live streams and stuff. I'm surprised I didn't remember that day. I'm very sorry, Mike. I'm disappointed in myself because February 9th is a very important day in my life. Surprised I didn't remember that. Orion says, I mentioned it the other day, but LTE is definitely built differently depending on where you are. 2 bars where I live would cry at the thought of streaming. Yes, it is 100% different wherever you are, which is kind of why I just wanted to give this a little test. From what I've heard from friends and people who have been down to Starbase, Verizon seems to have decent enough coverage down there. It's kind of the middle of nowhere, though, so I'm not expecting great internet. But lots of other people live stream, so hopefully I can do that. And if worst comes to worst, I have to get another device or line or whatever that's on T-Mobile or AT&T or whatever, I can do that fairly easily as well. Ooh, Michael has posted some big things. But before we get to that, let's get to Mr. Jonathan's chat. Jonathan says, do you think you could run the stream just with an iPad and AirPods, or would that be really bad? No, you totally can. The problem with the YouTube app on the iPad is that I think you have to have over a certain number of subscribers to live stream from the mobile app. It used to not have that requirement, but for some reason they have that requirement now. You can't live stream from the mobile app directly unless you have, I don't know, it's 1,000 or 3,000 subs or something like that. I don't know why they did that. So my Nicky Ansuini channel has more than that, and I can live stream from there, but I don't typically live stream on that channel. Well, that is something that I've been thinking about a lot, and maybe I'll shout it out here because you guys are kind of my peeps. You guys are my peeps. I'll say it out loud. All right, there, I said it. You guys are my peeps. So I'll tell you guys what I've been thinking. I'm kind of considering, like, there hasn't really been any plan for the Nicky Ansuini channel after the Cube video, and it got monetized, great, lovely, awesome, but I don't really have like more ideas like that, and a lot of the people who are there are like wanting more Cube content, and so I appreciate everyone who subscribed, to the Nicky Ansuini channel, but that's not really my thing to do more Cube conversions outside of the one that I did. So I kind of feel bad, and it's kind of like in this awkward place that channel is, that like I don't really have anything to put on it, but like it's my one monetized channel. And I don't really want to put anything on it that doesn't have a plan for it, because I feel like if it's not a Cube video, people are going to unsubscribe, which I totally get. So I know at some point, whenever I start making other content for the Nicky Ansuini channel, I know that people are unsubscribed, and I'm fine with that. It's not about the number to me. I'm just excited that it's monetized. So I've kind of been mulling around the idea of it's the problem when you're outside in public. I was like, what is that? It's a ATV or something. Someone enjoying their summer. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I've kind of been mulling around the idea of turning the Nicky Ansuini main YouTube channel into my Starbase content channel, because it is monetized, and I don't really have any other plans for it, and I could care less if I lose all 5,000 subscribers, because I wasn't in it for the subscribers to begin with, and I was originally thinking that Cube video was just going to get like 5,000 views, and anyway, all that to say, what do you guys think about me switching things up, and instead of, I think the Today at Starbase show will stay on Talos of Space, because I kind of like having that built into the Talos of brand, but as far as like live stream coverage and like sunrises and sunsets and the ambience and stuff of Starbase, I'm kind of digging the idea of just having that all underneath my personal name, but I don't know. I know that people are going to unsubscribe because it's not cube content, and I'm fine with that. I could care less. Um, so I guess the options are try and turn the Nikki Ansuini channel into like star-based content, or create another channel, yet another channel, which I technically have, but I haven't publicized it yet, specifically for Starship stuff. And honestly, at this point, I'm kind of just tired of not having anything to post to the Nikki Ansuini channel because, like, it's monetized and it's just sitting there doing nothing. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I've rambled on about that. Mr. Michael has said TSIS-2 will measure the sun's energy input from the Earth since 1978. Various satellites have measured the sun's brightness above the Earth's atmosphere. TSIS-2 will add solar irradiance measurements to 4 decades of continuous data records. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Unlike its predecessors, TSIS-1, which operates from the International Space Station, TSIS-2 will ride on a free-flying spacecraft. That's cool. I am in the integrations and test manager of the payload. Wow, man. I mean, you literally did do all the integration and testing for a probe that went to Mars. So honestly, I'd say this is a step backwards for you, Michael. But whatever. You do you. That's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing. That's really cool. So solar energies, irradiance. Interesting. So it's the flux of radiant energy per unit area. So you're measuring how brightly the sun is shining, I guess, above the Earth's atmosphere. That's probably a good measurement to have, though, So we can kind of like track if the sun's about to supernova, which obviously it isn't anywhere close. Ryan says you should definitely do that if you don't have any other plans for the main channel. No reason to restart with a different channel. Jonathan says you do what you love, people will watch. That is so true. Having that energy and enthusiasm of doing what you enjoy, what people love watching, just my opinion. 100% agree with that. Mr. Nate, sorry, very confusing. Mr. Nate says if you've got the passion for space content on the main channel, I'd say go for it, especially if it's already monetized. Do it. Wow. All right. Well, I guess that has decided the quandary that I've been quandering over for the past couple days. Looks like so far all the 4 people have said that it's a good idea. So I guess the new home of not Talos of Space, Nikki Ansuini Space Starship content will be on the Ansuini Live Nikki Ansuini channel. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And it'll be monetized, so yippee! Although I'm sure, like, 4,000 people will unsubscribe when I start posting daily SpaceX videos or hourly SpaceX videos, which I'm fine with. It'll just be kind of funny to watch the social blade go. The one person holding you back is you. Just do it. Oh, Jonathan. Yes. The one person holding you back is you. This is so true. I feel that on so many levels. The main level that I'm thinking of right now, which is why we're doing this test stream right now, I'd originally highlighted in my calendar July 20th through beginning of August to head down to Starbase to do the first trip down there. But like a couple days ago, I was like, why am I waiting till July 20th? And then I was like, because it was a nice day, I guess, on the calendar. I don't know. I have no idea why I picked July 20th. So I've been working towards that goal for about 3 weeks, the past 3 weeks. Like, okay, July 20th, I'll head down there. And I'm like, why am I waiting till July? I kind of wish I was there right now. And so, anyway, I'll be going down there early to mid next week. Probably not on Monday, possibly Tuesday or Wednesday. I have to get this car an oil change before I go down there because, it's not a Tesla, unfortunately. And I think that's about it. And, I have proving right now I have all of the equipment that I need to do this live stream content. As far as living in the back of the car, I did get a camping mat. We got some solar panels. Unfortunately, one of the reasons why I was waiting until July 20th originally was because I was waiting to figure out my solar panel situation. I have a couple solar panels, but I don't have any big battery banks to charge, and so anyway, I was trying to figure out all the, getting a deep cycle ring battery, and then like the inverter thing to charge it, and then like the charger, battery manager charger thingy that took it from the solar panel, put into the battery, and then the battery manager, and then the inverter to take it to standard wall power. And then you gotta you gotta make sure you only charge it between 180%, otherwise you mess up the battery. And it's just like really confusing. I'm sure at some point I'll figure it all out, but as of right now, we're just gonna go with this. I have my little Tesla. My one Tesla product is a Tesla mobile battery pack thingy, and that's keeping the camera charged up at the moment. The camera has a perfect battery life too. I think I get about 3 hours of record time at 1080p on the camera, so even if I didn't have it plugged in there, it would be fine on the MacBook Pro. It's literally sweltering, and it's been streaming for an hour, and we're at 69%, so that's a nice number. All right. Nate says you've only hit a local maximum with a cube video. That is so true. I think that was Mr. Y Mike who told me that to begin with. Yes, very much so. Jonathan says you could do your journey there as a part of the channel, but I don't know, just thoughts. Yes, I'm definitely going to be documenting that. I typically don't vlog because I kind of hate vlogging. I feel like my life is not as interesting as any vlogger that I've ever watched, but sometimes y'all disagree. I don't understand why. I've just never really been proud of any vlogs that I've made. Like every time I take time to make a vlog, I'm just kind of like, yeah. I literally have like 3 or 4 vlogs that I've recorded. If Scott's still in the chat, he can attest to this, that I've recorded and have yet to post just because I don't really like my vlogs. I just feel like it's kind of disingenuous when I'm like taking you along on an adventure when I know that adventure is not as exciting to me, but this adventure is exciting enough to warrant some kind of vlog, and it'll also probably be a good channel announcement video. Just be like, hey guys, so I'm here at Starbase now, and this is what I'm going to do for a living, so this channel is now that. Unsubscribe. Bye. All right. I think we'll round it out here soon. How long have we been streaming? Let me open up OBS. Holy shnikers, we've been live streaming for 50 minutes, 50 minutes. That's awesome. So if we extrapolate the battery life out, we used, let's just say about 30%, and it automatically enabled low power mode. That is so cool. I love Monterey. That is so cool. So we're on Monterey on a 13-inch MacBook Pro M1, and we used about 30% of the battery. It wasn't at 100% when we started this stream. We used about 30% of the battery in about the worst conditions possible. It's literally in direct sunlight on a 97-degree day, live streaming via a hotspot. So I would say that only using 30% battery is awesome. And that means that I will likely only have to top this up like once a day, which is kind of exciting because I'm kind of trying to figure out my whole schedule whenever I go down there. And since this is the homie chat, the plan is to do a pretty much daily at this point. We'll see how it goes, but I would like it to be daily sunrise live stream of all the sunrises. Yeah, I'd love me a good sunrises and sunsets. So I'd like to be up early enough to catch the sunrise, live stream it, record that in 4K, post it later on 4K as well. So there's like that record of a real awesome quality, unless it's just like a super gray morning. I haven't decided if I'd live stream it or not. With like kind of ambient stuff, I have an ambisonics microphone that I need to figure out a way to get hooked up here, but that can be a little bit later down the road. But where's I going with that? Oh boy. Oh yeah. So do a live stream with that, and then do a full, about an hour live stream in the morning with the sunrise, and then post about a full hour long 4K video with just the sunrise and ambisonics audio, and then post a short 3-minute sunrise kind of time lapse type, just sped up video in 4K with some ambisonics as well, and then move straight into my tank watching coverage, I guess, where I would like to, stand on the other side of the road and watch them build Starship, point out whatever's interesting, all that fun stuff. I just started up some TikToks and some That sounded super boomer the way I said it, but I said it correct. I started up some TikToks, and I need to do an Instagram account. I'll definitely be turning my Ansuini, Nick Ansuini stuff on Instagram into pretty much Starship content. And then I created 2 TikToks, Nick Ansuini, and then today at Starbase on TikTok, and I'll be posting like pretty much in the moment, hey, they're moving this here, they're moving that there, throughout the day. And then I would like to take a siesta because if it's going to be 90 degrees, I don't want to be out here doing stuff when it's 120 degrees or whatever it gets out there. I've been watching the weather and it's pretty bad. So I'll probably take a siesta in the middle of the day whenever it starts, slowing down after lunch. And that'll get me my sleep in that I need, because if I'm going to be doing both sunrise and sunset footage, it's going to be kind of pushing it on the sleep schedule. So I want to budget in a nice siesta time. And then more tank watching, and obviously podcasts happen sporadically throughout there. And then, yeah, I want to round out the day with a live stream of the sunset, and then the next morning post and edit the sunrise or the sunset footage as well with Ambisonics. A lot of what I want to capture down there, like plenty of people do really good video content, like Jack Bryan, Boca Chica Gal, like all those people down there who do the tank watching. If you're into anything Starship, like these people have like $6,000 to $20,000 lenses that are like amazing. I'm not bringing anything like that. But what I do have are some pretty nice and interesting microphones. They're not the best. I mean, obviously it's just a Rode lavalier. It's like, I don't know, 100 and something bucks. It's nothing fancy. But I do have an Ambisonics microphone, and I made my own parabolic dish. So I'd like to see what kind of archival level audio production I can do, because I feel like that's somewhere that really hasn't had anything added yet, and I would like to knock that out of the park. So that is the plan when I'm down in Starbase. So I get to budget in a nap. Who would have thunk that I could call a day job that includes taking a nap in the middle of the day? That is probably my favorite part. All right, back to the chat here, and we'll probably close this out fairly soon because I'm done baking. And it's not. I can continue baking. It's just why continue baking. So there's no natural lighting here. So I will say this. I just was looking at OBS here. There's no natural lighting or no fake lighting. It's all natural lighting. What am I even saying? So I'm not a real fan of this. I think it looks fine, what you're looking at right now. Obviously I'm kind of underexposed on the face and overexposed up in the sky there. Nothing really I can do about it. I thought about bringing like studio lights and stuff, but that requires like power supplies and like cabling, and even then, like, it's literally the sun. So the most powerful, aperture lights that you can get aren't going to be competing with the sun in any meaningful way. So then I'd have to bring in like backstopping, like ND filters, basically, like huge ND. They're not actual. It's basically like a screen, like on a screen door, but like background stuff to darken down the background, keep my face exposed. It's just like that escalates really quickly in the production value. And as much of a light hog as I am of making sure everything's crispy and perfect, this is what it is. All right, nice. So we get back to the chat. Here we are, back on the chat. Okay. Where did I go? I think I scrolled down too far. Oh, there we are. So Simon has declared nice. Ryan said, an unrelated note, but this outdoor setting is so chill. I quite like your studio setup, but this is also really nice too to watch. Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that. That's good to know. I'm a little self-conscious about not having control over every aspect here, but that's not something that I can really plan on right now. So, especially if I'm going down there, such a laid-back conversation type vibe, which is hard to achieve on a stream. That's good. Well, I'm glad we're having a laid-back conversation. I've kind of been podcasting all day, so we're just kind of in like, I'm still in podcasting mode, but like we're in chill podcasting mode. Jonathan says there have been minor FPS drops, but overall sound has been great so far too. Yeah, I have noticed here in OBS we're looking like we've dropped about 5.5% of the frames, or a total of 5,705 frames, which isn't ideal, but again, we're on a hotspot, so if if it got much worse than like 10% of the frames, I'd definitely be switching stuff up here, like changing locations and stuff. But 5% of frames, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. And as soon as Starlink comes, as soon as the mobile version of Starlink comes, we'll be golden. Like, we'll be doing possibly even 4K live streams because I have everything in place except for new capture card and it's Starlink. All I need for 4K live streams is a new capture card and Starlink. So I will make this a promise to you. As soon as the mobile version of Starlink comes out, where you can like take it around and van life it, I will be doing 4K live streams. Don't worry about that, because everyone loves watching 4K live streams. Let's see. Jonathan says, I wonder if with doing the stream outside, we don't get the reverb from the walls, etc. I agree with you, Ryan, that it's nice laid-back scenery. Well, yeah, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. There's no reverberation whatsoever out here for sure. I mean, maybe a little off like the car or something, but overall, like no reverberation whatsoever, which is kind of nice. But you got the street noise and the birds and the wind and the sun. So I wouldn't say this is a step up from studio quality. Yeah, you'll have to listen to the podcast this week, Jonathan, that I'll be posting tomorrow that I need to edit tonight. But I was using this same microphone setup today because I just had already plugged it all in and stuff and got it off my C stand. So hopefully it's a lot closer. It's the whole signal to noise ratio, right? So previously my microphone for the tech podcast, it was literally this microphone, but it was, let me get it on OBS here so I can make sure you can still at least hear me. It was about up here. I had it just like up on a C stand. It's like basically a tripod with like an arm that comes over here. So I had this attached up here, and it was nice because I didn't have anything, in my way, but it's a whole foot away from my mouth. And the way you get rid of reverberation and really clean up your audio is get your microphone as close as possible to the audio source, and you can reduce that signal to noise ratio as much as possible. So that's kind of why we're doing it this way. I could totally mount it on the back hatch of my SUV, which I thought about a couple times, but that is like literally up here. And so I'd have to boost up the gain so much for you to hear me that you wouldn't just hear me, you'd hear like the bug 30 feet away over there. So that's kind of why we're doing this handheld thing. I think it sounds decent enough, and yeah, so I don't know. Oh yeah, no reverberation. Jonathan says, if I may, don't compare yourself to others. You do have people who will watch, are interested in your journey and thoughts and perspective. You may not think it's too important, but for some of us, it is 100%. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I do my best not to compare myself to people. I think every human does, though, at the end of the day. We all have a few people that we look up to. And it looks like the sun has moved a little bit, so looks like there's sun shining directly on the sensor because I took off my lens hood because I literally stacked all those on my camera is stacked on a set of books and a cooler because I don't have a tripod that's short enough. My smallest tripod's like, I'd be looking up at it because pretty much the base of the car is at eye level with me. Yeah, I try my best not to compare myself to people, but I think everyone does have the few creators or people that they kind of set up for themselves as a benchmark. I don't really know off the top of my head who those are for me, but they're definitely there. As far as audio stuff, there's a channel called Free to Use Sounds, and he does he's about 10,000 or so subscribers, but he does really crispy audio, ambisonics, and recording and stuff. And it's just like, I don't care if I ever get to that level, but like if I could just emulate him in any way like that is like, he has some crispy audio. And not like I think a lot of people on YouTube, again, the laid back conversation, here we go, it's like we're at a campfire or something. I'm sitting in a camp chair sweating to death outside. It's like we're just on a camping trip together, guys. That's literally what this is. YouTube is really weird. It creates a kind of a one-sided relationship. Like Jonathan, I've never met you, right? I'm sorry to break the fourth wall here, but let me just tap that fourth wall and break it. I've never met you, Jonathan, so I don't know who you are. But you have seen a ton of my content, right? And the content that I've put out is content that I've put out, and I've filtered that. You're not seeing the Nick who just rolled out of bed after like 3 hours of sleep and is extremely tired and grumpy at the world, right? I don't put that content out. What you see is the polished version of Nick Ansuini that I want you to see. And similarly, I don't know any of your I don't know about you, Jonathan, right? Like, I don't want to break the fourth wall and like create existential crises or a paradox or something that'll melt the YouTube platform down right now. But at the end of the day, guys, like YouTube creates like this really weird social relationship where like now I've come to know plenty of people who are in this chat a little bit better over FaceTime and having like actual conversations with that aren't on this like kind of live stream thing. But comparing the Free Use Sounds YouTube channel, right? I don't know that guy from Adam besides what he posts, and that guy certainly doesn't know me because I don't even think I've even commented on any of his videos. And it creates this weird relationship where me, the fan, is watching this guy's version of his life that he wants to put out there. And I'm sure if you ask him, because it's the same with all creators, you're not putting you out there. You're putting up this, actor, basically. And I'm guilty of that. Every creator is. And it's kind of this weird relationship that gets formed where people are a fan of that person, not of the work that they make. And I find that lots of people get caught up in that, right? So take Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. I appreciate his content a lot. He makes really good, detailed, edited videos that are really deep about all kinds of things about space, and it's awesome that he does that. But I think a lot of people miss the point and they become fans of the person instead of the content that they make. And I don't do that. I don't mistaken. I think some people combine the content creator with the content they've created, right? I think people kind of mix the two together because it's very difficult to differentiate those two things when you're just watching YouTube. But especially since I've been creating so much, you kind of realize that who gets put out there on the internet is not really who you are. And because of that, I don't really look up to anyone in the way that I think most people would consider looking up to someone would be, or comparing myself to them. Because at the end of the day, it's literally just a number on a screen. 14 million or 50,000. Like, it's literally just a number on a screen. Doesn't really matter in the real world all that much, besides, the number that's in your bank account. Even then, really doesn't matter, because there are plenty of people who act rich and are very poor, and there are plenty of people who are actually rich who act... Anyway, you know what I mean. I think I messed it up somewhere. Plenty of people who are poor but act rich, or rich people who act poor. Anyway, I don't know why I was going into all that. Basically, I don't look up to too many people, but I appreciate that reminder, because I do catch myself comparing my content to other people's content on occasion, but typically it's not directed at the content creator, right? Like, I'm not comparing myself with Marquez or even Tim Dodd. I'm comparing my content with their content if I do compare anything, and even that's kind of rare for me. Anywho, out of that dark rabbit hole of existentialism, we've got quite a bit of chat going on over here. My goodness, there are 7 people watching, and I'm just like ranting. This is so funny. Sometimes we'll go an entire regular Thursday Ansuini live and only see 7 people. Kind of weird. Friday night seemed to be free, I guess. Nathan is back. Welcome back, Nathan. Is the $12 cam link still worth it? 100%. 100%. I have 2 $12 cam links because sometimes they're a little buggy or weird. They never stop working entirely, but they make you question whether it's going to stop working while you need it. So I do have 2. So when one starts acting up funny, I can just swap it out for another one. But Randy did have this weird issue this morning, so I wouldn't ask him right now. He had some issues with his $12 cam link. But at the end of the day, it's $12 compared to $150. And oh, by the way, the Elgato $150 one still doesn't work with M1 Max. So I'd say the $12 one's pretty good. Nate says, I wish my Wi-Fi supported 4K live streams. I know. Literally, the funny thing with 4K live streams is like literally 0% of people on planet Earth have A, the internet to support 4K live stream, like watching 4K live streams, B, the console/computer/live streaming TV box to support 4K live stream, see the cabling, HDMI 2.1 or above, or whatever the proper cabling is, and a TV that plays stuff in 4K from a streaming box, because that's actually pretty rare. So anyway, yeah, 4K live streams are literally useless, but I promise if I do get Starlink Mobile, I will get a new capture card, and we will do a 4K live stream just for the heck of it once, and then we'll all laugh at how much bandwidth I wasted. Nathan says, have you thought about getting a dynamic mic like mine rather than a normal condenser lav? They reject the background noise well, and you won't even be able to hear the cars in the background. I have the lav mic that I have. If this one goes kaputs, I'll definitely ask you, Nathan, for recommendations. But this one is a fairly good one. It's a Rode lavalier microphone. I think Rode sent this one to Drew a while ago, or someone did. Drew gave it to me because he wasn't using it. And I've actually gotten a ton of mileage out of this microphone, one of my favorites. So yeah, if this microphone ever goes kaputs, I'll hit you up, Nathan, and we'll talk about dynamic lavs. Jonathan says, "Oh, Nick, did you see the Nintendo Switch OLED model? Thoughts?" Yes, I did. I don't have a ton of thoughts. I'm not a huge gamer. Out of any of the consoles that are available, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, all that fun stuff, the Switch is the only one I would ever consider getting. I don't currently have any gaming setups besides like my iPhone or iPad/MacBook, which I don't game on. I guess theoretically I could. But the Switch is the only one that I would consider getting, only because Randy and some of his friends and his brother, they play Smash on Nintendo on occasion together. It's pretty regular Sunday nights or something like that. And I have considered getting a Switch just so I can hang out with them a little bit more because they're fun guys. But I've never actually pulled the trigger because when I kind of figured out that I wouldn't mind playing Smash with them, it was kind of, I don't know, 2020 or so, about last year. And I knew that the Nintendo Switch was old. And so I was like kind of waiting for a refreshed Switch to dink around with it. And I was kind of hoping a good, spec bump or something more exciting, but it didn't. So I'm like, well, I don't think I really want it. I don't know. I don't have anything against it. Just I was expecting. It feels like an S year, but it's been 4 years since the last update, so it kind of feels underwhelming. Nathan says they're super affordable. They are. Well, send me a few links here. If they're like super duper affordable, I'd love to try one out, Nathan. Nick isn't too much of a gamer, if I remember correctly. That's so true. Graham, welcome, Graham. Graham says we live in a simulation, so this is so true. Oh, sorry, it skipped down here. Graham says maybe Nick is a robot being controlled by someone else behind a curtain. Oz Loki style. How can we know that Nick's is even real? This is so true. How do I know that I am real? I don't know that I am real. You never know if anyone. Are you real, Graham? What if you're not real? What if Graham is just a bot? What if Graham is the singularity in AI form that's come to spam us all? Maybe everyone is a robot? Ooh, true. We're getting philosophical. Totally. We're in a simulation, so that's true. So many quotable things from you, Nick. I keep accidentally biting the send button. I'm still getting used to this new phone. Yes. Sorry, I have notifications turned off here. You have been texting me things. Sorry about that. 100 movies to download to make it worth it. Yes. All right. So Ryan is back here. I definitely agree. Look at how Twitter reacts with a certain celebrity has different opinion than you. While I grown to know and like some creators more personally, like chatting with you, for example. Yes, exactly. It's kind of puts you on this like echo chamber where like the people who are watching the stream have like zero influence and power, and the person doing the live stream or any piece of content has like this weird amount of power. It's really weird when you think about it. Like talking to a camera, like I'm literally sitting alone in a park talking into a piece of glass and silicon and you guys are watching a screen with headphones. I mean, it's super weird when you think about it. Nate says, that's one of the reasons why I rarely show myself in any of my videos, except for today's video. Yes, I have yet to watch it. I saw you tweet about it. I need to watch it. I just finished podcasting, and then I came down here to mess around with this. So when I get into my YouTube watching this evening, I will definitely be watching that, Nathan. I'm excited to see how you edit things in LumaFusion. Except for today's video, I would prefer people discuss the content itself instead of the person behind it. Oh, well, then why are you here? Mr. Nathan. You just watch the Cube video and be done. Simon says, I'm only listening. I'm debating with a friend on Messenger. Ooh, what are you debating about? I mean, as long as it's not super offensive or whatever. Debates are good as long as you keep it civil. Ryan says, I've definitely been guilty of knee-jerk reactions of not wanting to watch someone's content because they had a dislike, because they had a take I dislike, and getting upset even though they're effectively a random person. I also don't know where I was going with that, other than just people need to remember that being a fan is a one-way relationship, and to care about the work, not the person. Exactly. 100%. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Yeah. There are plenty of people that I disagree with in the world. I don't really care too much. I'm not a super opinionated guy, at least online. So, yeah, it's like, whatever. You believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. Just leave me alone on the important stuff, and we'll get along just fine. Team space, right? That's literally what team space is all about. Good Life is back. Hi, I'm back. I was hungry, so I made some cookies. Oh, you made cookies. Did you not bring them to share? Good at Life? I cannot believe you didn't. Good at Life made cookies and didn't bring them. I cannot believe him. He's just so selfish with the cookies. Yummy, yummy. I am indeed a robot, says Graham. That's exactly what a robot would say, though, to throw us off the tracks. Graham said, the best thing to come out of the new Switch, in my opinion, would be the price drop in the original Switch. Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, like, if I were to go get a Switch, an old, original Switch, it's like, do I really want to spend, $200-300 on, like, something from 2017? I don't know. It's like, all right, whatever. I just can't justify the price, because I would literally use it maybe twice a month on, like, a Sunday night for, like, an hour and a half to hang out with some friends that I could literally just FaceTime anyway and just not play the game. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. It's getting kind of late. Kind of getting hungry. Let's see. Jonathan is going. Gotta go. Great day. Have a great day. You too, bud. Thanks. Appreciate you stopping by. Good questions and good conversations. If you are losing the debate, then challenge them to a boxing match. That's literally what every YouTuber does. They're like, oh, wow, you're a terrible person because you videoed people who were dead in a forest once. And then Logan Paul is like, oh, you want to fight me, huh? I'm pretty sure that's how that turned out. Simon says, I'm debating veganism. It's a very civil, of course. I'm not a douche. I'm glad you're not a douche. Simon has declared that he's not a douche. That is good to know. I would bring you some cookies, but the border is closed for our prime minister because our prime minister is really big brain. I see. So I guess I won't be having any cookies, unfortunately. Nate says Nick respects every opinion except Mike's interstellar opinion. Obviously, exactly. Simon has declared, see ya, Nick. Nathan says, I'm about to send some mic links. You go ahead and do that. I'll be watching for those. Nathan, thank you. Bye, Nate. Thanks for joining us, guys. This was a fun test. Ending the test here, so I just have a record of this. We're at 54% battery on the MacBook Pro. We've been streaming for, where's the timer there? Oh, an hour and 16 minutes. Dropped exactly 5% of the frames, or 6,835 frames, with a typical kilobits per second of 2,600. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining. Hopefully you have a great day. Oh, my goodness, Nikias just joined. Hey, Nikias. We're just testing out a stream. Thanks for joining. See you guys all next Thursday for another Ansuini Live. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
You suck, Nick.